So we're going to have to make a decision as a group right now, since Michael has decided to not join us, but he's like, well, maybe I'll join you later. Do we actually let him in if he shows up, or do we leave him in the we leave him in like the green room jail?
I think you tell us that he's like waiting secretly somehow, and then we just like snark on him for 30 seconds and see if he reacts.
Well, we do have the private chat.
Yeah.
So we could certainly use that.
I think you could see that, though, in the green room.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe. Or we can all just, when he comes in, just everybody be completely quiet.
Yeah.
And let him finish the show.
Yeah.
Maybe. That might be the play.
Ooh. That might be the
like
plan.
I like this idea.
Wait, we're all having audio issues.
Everyone's mics are behind them all at once.
I like it. All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Sidebar on TCF on a Thursday, when I think we've all kind of had a little bit of a Thursday here and there.
Yeah.
But we'll work on it. We'll figure it out. Today was a good day, though, in some cases. I mean, we had a good day on the live show this morning, and we launched In the Blind today.
Yeah.
Another show for our community, and that was good. Viewers, go to the pinned chat and go check that out after this show. If you haven't already, there's a link there. We posted the pilot episode today. And that is not court related, but I thought it was all sorts of fun. So looking forward to continuing that. But we're here for court, so let's talk about that. Well, but we're not even going to talk about court, are we? We're going to talk about the parole board again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So court-esque.
Legal system.
So we saw this case, what was it, 2 days ago now? Mm-hmm. And I was like expressing that I was fed up with the person. And then some of you were like, yeah, I've got some problems with it too. So we thought we'd talk about it. And I've got a 2-minute montage that just cuts from the hearing that kind of break out what went on there. And if you want to see the whole hearing, but not have to slog through the entire live show, it actually posted as a separate video on this channel about 3 hours ago. So you can also check that out after the show if you want more info. But let's look at this 2-minute cut here so we can kind of get an idea for everybody as to what went on.
Ms. Gambetta, I'm going to read some information for the record, and at the end, you'll let me know if everything is correct, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Chantel Gambetta is your name. Your DOC number is 786-864. You're a first-class offender. The offense is Livingston Parish 44069, attempted trafficking of children for sexual purposes and promoting prostitution. Your sentencing date was March 11, 2024. Your sentence was 5 years, DOC hard labor, suspended all but 3 years, and then 3 years supervised probation. Your parole date is March the 20th, 2026. Your good time date, you're not eligible, and your full-time date is December the 20th, 2026. Is that correct? Well, you heard what the DA just said. What do you have to say about that?
That I'm deeply regret that the actions I have caused, and I apologize for any of my decisions that I had made, and that I'm sorry to the victim and their family, my own family, and even the community. It was a bad spot, and it was not my boyfriend defended. It was nervous. A man, he basically made me make her do it, and I went along with it, and I know I was wrong for the crime that I have committed. And if I could take it back, I would tell her that I'm very sorry. And I apologize.
Well, the gravity of human trafficking is these are all strangers.
Correct. It's a serious crime.
It is a serious crime. And at any time, the child could have been beat up.
Correct.
So, I mean, human trafficking leads to a litany of other things. It's bad enough when, when you have rape of a child, a lot of times it's a family member, somebody they know well, and that's heartbreaking. And that's frightening also, but this is terrifying. I did not agree to granting your parole request. The crime was just too serious. It was a runaway. She really didn't have anybody to turn to. And you said terrible choices, but you clearly made them of your own volition. You chose to make those choices. I mean, he didn't hold a gun to your head or anything like that, based upon what you said. So and you said that he hadn't even been charged with anything yet that you're aware of anyway.
Okay, so that's kind of the breakdown of what went on there. So you've got somebody who was actively trafficking a child. She blames it on the man, and in my opinion, does not take any responsibility whatsoever. And that's the biggest thing that got me very hot over this, was that we have a situation where once again, somebody is just giving us words. She didn't use the Jesus blanket like so many do, but just giving us words and ultimately taking zero responsibility. And I just can't take that. It's driving me up a wall. Lindsay, what are your thoughts?
I think there was one sentence she needed to say that she really never said, is regardless of my reasons, what I did was wrong and I'm sorry. She just kind of kept hiding behind all the reasons. And we didn't even show many of those in the clip, but like, I was pregnant and my man told me I had to, and she never told us she told us she was 18, and she just kept going on and on for all these reasons of like, yeah, I did it, but da 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 da. And it just, she never took accountability. She's like, I did it, but there were so many reasons why I did it, so it should be okay, and I should get out now. And it was infuriating.
Yeah, that's just it. Infuriating. We see so many that bring this out in us, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Because it's, if they've sat in prison that long and still haven't figured it out, I don't know. Austin, you were going to say something.
Yeah, this one, it kind of seemed like she was going off of a script on how to try and say she's sorry without taking any blame and without saying she's sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it turned out the way it did.
There was some mental gymnastics going on there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
Ashley?
definitely. I have a lot to say about this because, yes, she did not hone up to what she was doing was wrong. I think the first thing that she admitted to was booking the hotel room. And she was like, yeah, I'm guilty of that type of thing. And that's all she was guilty of. And her eyes was booking the hotel room when they first got her on and stuff. I'm like, I think there's more to the story than this. And there is. She acted like she was coerced by her boyfriend. However, her boyfriend probably did not drive the victim to multiple locations, and she did so. Left the victim alone with adult men. She did so. Told the victim she had no choices anymore. She did so. Her behavior shows she had enough agency to direct, to transport and command a minor. And she is acting over here like she's helpless, while this minor is even more helpless than her. So it doesn't work. Her decisions, it was her decision to do this. And she even, I caught a lie in her testimony as well, that she said that she attended AA AA meetings, celebrate recovery, but she says she didn't do drugs and didn't drink alcohol, and that was contradictory. So there were many things, and I feel like she's lying. Could not believe what she was saying due to her back and forthness in this.
Yeah, I had some thoughts on the whole celebrate recovery, attending of classes piece. And
Yeah.
it could either be she did have a problem, or like she was using substances and was told get in these classes, but in her eyes she didn't have a problem. Or someone told her, hey, I know you're not an addict, but take these classes. It looks really good to the parole board. When your time comes, they've seen you take these classes.
Yep.
Which I don't. Either way, not great intent.
No.
Yes.
And on
Yeah.
And she had to throw in Bible study and stuff like that, which that
Yep.
anyway, that's kind of like
Yeah.
Jesus blanket type of thing. But
Jesus
Yeah,
light. It's more like a Jesus sheet.
yeah.
scarf.
Yep.
Yeah, and she took no programs in trafficking, exploitation, or victim empathy. She didn't take any classes for
Yeah.
those things.
If
She
I
took
remember
it
right,
in AA and Celebrate Recovery.
if I remember right, though, they said there was like one victim awareness class that wasn't offered at their facility, and that might be
Yes.
why she didn't take the one.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I think they said they had to transfer her to
Yeah.
another facility.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. So, and we don't even know if she even like made the attempt.
But she
furthermore,
was
Right.
But
Yeah.
she was required to take a substance abuse program, which she didn't do.
yeah. So exactly, if she was required to take a substance abuse program, then clearly there was
She had a
some kind of
substance abuse
substance
problem.
abuse.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
But she said she did not take drugs. So, no. Something's weird there as well.
Yeah.
So she's not she's just trying to make herself look good in front of the parole board.
Yep.
And I hate that. I hate when people
Yeah.
do that. I think it's just better to get it out
Yeah.
and
Yes.
take
Tried and
account.
failed miserably to make herself look good in front of the parole board,
Yeah.
because we're doing an
She
entire
made
episode
herself look
Yeah.
stupid.
about
Oh, an
Her
entire
is
episode, and,
stupid.
and she's on a thumbnail on this channel now too.
yeah. So
Yep.
Because the video that I put up 3 hours ago for this, that's got her face on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yep.
So yeah,
To me, like I said earlier, it seemed like she had a sheet of paper that says like how to get out of trouble with the parole board.
Yeah.
And she was trying to read from that step by step, and they were just not having that.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was that complex. I think she just had a list of buzzwords.
Yeah.
Because one of the statements I wrote down, and I called this out during the live, if I could take it back, I'd tell her I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That's just a combination of sorry and take it back, because if
Yeah.
you could take it back, then it would never have happened and you would not have had a need to say
Yeah.
that you're sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But-
I could take it back. I wouldn't have put you in that position. And I'm sorry I did. I think it's the full sentence, but she wrote down the opening third and the last word.
The one thing that when I'm watching these parole boards, this parole board, because this is like the only one we go to, but this parole board has when people state their case, I listen closely, and if they don't mention the victims at all and only about themselves, that's a huge
Mhm.
red flag to me.
Yes.
And
Yep.
this is what she did. She pretty much said, "Oh, it was me. I was pregnant. I was this. I was that. I was this," and
Yeah.
did not even. She addressed the victim once, saying she was sorry to her,
Yeah.
but she did not. No.
And I
that
don't doubt
Go ahead.
that someone who found themselves in a position to be doing what she was doing maybe was being victimized in some way, but this was not the time to call out how victimized she was.
right.
This was the
Exactly.
time for her to take accountability, to truly say, hey, what I did was beyond wrong. I
Yes.
apologize to the victim, and this is how I plan to improve my life going forward. And
Yeah.
she got none of that.
She did, and she didn't know the victim was 15. I caught that part, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a lie or not either. Just as
Yeah.
her what she's saying.
Yeah.
But why would you human traffic anyway, even if they weren't
Exactly.
15?
Yep.
Well,
So that bothered me too.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Making excuses because of whatever's gone on in your life, you know, trying to get out of something because you were a victim just does not fly for me. Raise your hand if you've never had something bad done to you in your life ever. Go. Or if you're in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you've never had something bad done to you in your life ever. We're not going to see any ones. We've all had something go wrong. We've all been some kind of a victim of something to some kind of extent. You know, heaven forbid that her victim someday like knifes somebody out of spite or whatever. Are we going to forgive that because she had a bad situation before? No. And I'm not saying that because I wish it to happen. I most certainly do not. It's just to raise the point of whatever you have been through is not an excuse for your behavior now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or even in the moment, quite frankly. You know, we talked about this in the 4th hour on the live show today where I brought up the Uvalde thing because they found that officer, that school officer, not guilty with regard to his inaction at that shooting. And you know, I talked about the concept of regardless of what the danger to you might be, regardless of what obstacles you might face, there is a duty in sometimes in life to act heroically, to act responsibly, to do the right thing, even at your own cost. And one of the things I wrote down from the clip that we just played was whatever that, it wasn't Ledoux, whatever that old lady was on the board. I forget what her name is.
Oh. Yeah.
She said, well, he didn't have a gun to your head.
Right.
And my whole thing was, so what if he did?
Right.
I don't care. At that point, do you just, okay, well, I got a gun to my head, so let's go ahead and put this child through something horrible? No. You have a duty to be better at that point.
Yep.
And she and that lady ignored the child's pleas to stop.
Yeah.
And that's a
I
big
forgot about that.
Yeah.
that is a big thing because that takes out any argument that it was consensual. It wouldn't be consensual anyway because she's 15. But even if that
Exactly.
lady, if that lady thought she was older, that plea to stop, it's pretty much forced. It's forced without question. So that also rang out to me too. Like, this lady told you to stop. Why didn't you stop doing this? Or why didn't you do everything in your ability to save this girl, even if it was slap your boyfriend or do whatever to make him stop doing what he was doing. And that's what I would do in that situation. Of course, I cannot put myself in her shoes completely because it's such a far out situation, but it could happen to anyone. But I would hope I would be able to stop the guy from harming this girl in any way I can, because she's younger and she deserves her whole life ahead of her. So that's just my thought about that.
It's your duty as a human being, in my opinion. It's your duty as a human being to protect those around you who need that protection.
Yep.
And in that situation, that was clear. Who was it that brought up that she asked for it to be stopped? Was it the prosecutor or was it the defendant herself? I don't remember.
I
Who
think
brought
it
that up?
I don't think we
was
heard from the defendant. I heard.
no. It was. I think it was in the report that
Okay.
the parole was written off of, because I think it came from
Gotcha.
the parole board.
Yeah.
She didn't deny that, though, did she?
She did not deny that.
Yeah.
No.
She just
So-
she denied knowing she was 15 or not. Like, her age was her thing, but the age doesn't matter here.
Yeah.
Because, that doesn't exactly make it all better.
No.
Yes. And she had the opportunity to help the girl, because the way it seemed, there were times where it was just those two in a car. So
A
you
lot of
get out
time
of
it
the
was those
state
two in a car.
and
Right.
get to
She could
Texas,
dro-
get to California, get to somewhere else and get help.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not drive her to the motel or to
Those two had,
wherever it was going down.
yeah. She had so many opportunities that we can just surmise to go on a different exit, run, get away, get help. There
That
are groups that are dedicated
Yes.
to helping people in these situations, specifically women. You know,
Yep.
like choices were there, and she just continually made the more convenient ones for her, let's say.
Yes.
That's a good point, Austin, because if she was alone with her
Yeah.
in a vehicle, she could have driven to a police station.
Yep.
And even if the act had gone down a few times prior, if she had just turned herself in and like, I
Yeah.
can't do this anymore. Here's what's going on. Here's
Yep.
what I've been put through. Here's what she's been put through. She probably could have cut a deal.
Yeah.
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 She would have maybe gotten probation,
Yeah.
I am
maybe sat
so
a couple months at the most.
I'm
Yep.
so surprised she got 5 years for this though. I think it should have been a lot more because
Stuff
of this.
involving kids, Ashley.
I
couldn't
know.
believe it
I
when
know
I
she
heard
got a
5
lot
years.
more and she had a plea deal. I understand that.
Yeah.
But in this situation, oh
Yep.
no.
That's a whole other discussion. Why are
I
we
know.
why are we going lenient and doing these plea deals on stuff involving kids?
Ugh.
It's insane.
It gives me the goosebumps actually because I just got them. It's disgusting. I don't know
Yeah.
if she I was thinking about that and seeing if she spoke out against him maybe and he got the harsher sentence or something like that. That might have happened, but they didn't really go into that.
No, they did a good job, I would say, in the hearing. Like, she kept kind of offering up herself as a co-victim, and in some ways, yes, you know, but at the same time, no. And they did a good job of redirecting, like, no, this is about your charges, your decisions, what you did.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
they didn't bring him into it at all, or very little, enough to like say, like, you know, you two work together in this.
Yes.
So Charles brings up a point in the chat. He says, in my circle of acquaintances, I've seen quite a few women similar to the woman in the hearing. They often serve as conduits rather, for men to abuse other women.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. It's
You're
a
not wrong.
certain
As
type. It's a
women,
certain
sometimes we're
type.
pitted. Yeah, as women, sometimes we are pitted against each other for the approval of men. It's unfortunate, but it does happen, and there's a lot of leaning into that for some women. I think we saw one in this case.
I think you are onto something, Lindsay, because there was another woman.
Yeah,
Remember?
Oh, there was? Did I miss
Yes.
that part of the hearing?
Yeah.
So he had the trafficker and the side piece. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Or man.
remember the part?
yeah.
Dan, she
There was
said
so
she
much,
wa-
Jana.
Remember the part, Dan, that she said she had broken up with him, and they were still
Oh,
together.
yes.
And that part.
Yes.
And that side character was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
we were in the process of breaking up, I think is how she put it.
Mm-hmm. And she
And
that
I don't
other
know what
woman
that
was
is,
there.
by the way.
Yeah.
Finding another drug dealer.
Okay.
Probably.
Sorry, that
Maybe.
fell out. But
No, was
that could be part of it, you know.
I was just going to
Yeah.
ask, do you think she was moving that kid for the drugs? Was that the deal? You participate in this and I'll keep you high?
Yeah.
That very
Probably.
well could
Probably.
have been.
She wasn't paid.
Yep.
This leans into what Elmore always says, that he'll argue with anybody any day that drugs are not a victimless crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If
Yeah.
that's the case, that's a shining example of it right there. I don't know.
Which
It's
ties back into the whole why was she being referred to substance abuse courses if she didn't have a substance abuse problem, if substances weren't, you know, some kind of piece in this puzzle.
well, she didn't say she didn't abuse substances. She said, I don't do drugs.
Right.
So maybe she's huffing canned air or something. Who the hell knows?
Oh God, that. Oh.
But You know,
wow. Yep.
if she's
I had
trying to
not
get
thought about
around
that.
things with technicalities, it would not have been a lie.
Right.
I don't know. Hey,
Or maybe
She seems like
prescription
a
pills.
messed up individual. She's not ready to get out into the real world. She really isn't.
No.
She is so messed up.
No, I think we'll see her in a revocation hearing sometime in 2027.
we do
Oh,
so much on this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I just realized that she was getting out this year.
Yeah.
And-
So she didn't have a good time date, but I think her release date.
20th of December.
Yeah. So she was getting out later this year anyway. This was just kind of a pitch
Right.
to get out a few months earlier. So yeah, there's a very high probability that, if she's got a few years of probation or, whatever happens after she gets out, we might see her. We might see her again.
Interesting.
I was
I don't
going
know.
to say something and I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
It was profound too, doggone it. Oh well. No, I struggle with these type of people. Oh, I remember what it was that I was going to say. We watch so much court on TCF and so much of these parole hearings that I lose track of what I say with regard to what case, because I talk too much, I suppose. But I think it was this one where I said something to the effect of, if they really screw up in these parole hearings, they ought to have more time tacked on.
Yeah, you did say that for this one.
And
Yeah,
I
it
felt
was this
like,
one.
yeah, this is one who should have more time tacked on just because she proved herself to be an even bigger idiot than what people thought she was.
Yep.
It's the drugs.
Well, she doesn't do them, Ashley.
No,
She doesn't do
she's doing
drugs.
something. I can tell. She is not there. She's not.
Or
She's
not.
living
Something
off of
happened to
Bible
her-
verses and good vibes. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Just kind of listening to her talk and watching her demeanor. I never want to cast judgment because that's not my place to
Of
do
course
it. But
not.
I'm like, there's some kind of cognitive something going on here.
Yep.
Like she's a few crackers short of the barrel. You could just tell by, kind of how she was mispronouncing and missaying things. And maybe she was nervous. I don't know. But just like everything about her demeanor just gave a lack of emotional intelligence and just, intelligence in general, I think. And not that that's any kind of excuse, but,
That's
I was
probably
definitely
why
picking
she.
up on
That may be part of why. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to make excuses for her.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah,
I thought
Help
the
just
same
said she
thing
doesn't
about-
have the skill set to avoid hooking up with another abuser when she's released.
Yep. That's a very
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah,
And
she's
probably the case, and we'll see her back.
which is so unfortunate.
But I
Yes.
guess the question becomes then, and obviously we don't know the answer, but is it a nature or nurture thing? So is it she was born a little mentally broken, or is it her upbringing combined with drugs, combined with whatever, more the nurture end of things that has caused her to become so much of an idiot, for lack of a better way to put it?
She didn't have. Did she have support in this parole hearing?
She had a sister.
Yes, a sister who but the sister's like, no, she's not going to live with me. She's going to go live with mom. But sure, if
Yep.
she had to live with me, we could make that work, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So it was a very,
Yeah,
in my
And
mind,
I-
it was a very not super committed support.
I'm thinking it's
And she was
I think
filled
it's an
with
upbringing
buzzwords,
problem
too.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, the mom she was going to go live with was just a little bit under 100 with the caregiver, and that would have completely messed up her services, most likely, the mother services, because
Yeah.
I know it's a heck of a thing for me with mine.
Yeah.
About having people with records live with me, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's it from even another angle.
Charles is speculating fetal alcohol syndrome.
Could be.
Yeah, that would certainly fit. There's so
Yeah.
many things it could be.
Yeah.
And,
Shaken
This is-
baby syndrome or something like that. I don't know, but
How is
fair.
it that everything we always talk about always feeds back into my whole idea of it starts at a family level of bringing up better people and taking care of them right from the start? Because we don't know this woman's complete backstory, but
No.
is it such a reach to say, yeah, she wasn't brought up right? There was something broken there?
Yep.
Despite what else might be going on, I guarantee you.
Definitely.
I absolutely guarantee you that something went wrong somewhere with her, whether it be like a fetal alcohol or a shaken baby or just an abusive home or a broken home or any combination of all of that combined with whatever else might have been wrong with her. Some guy comes along and goes, here, try this. It'll make you feel better. And then here we are. But what was she too? She was like 29 or something like that, wasn't she, when this went down?
Yes.
She wasn't.
Yeah.
She
I believe
was,
it was 29.
Yeah.
old enough to fully know better.
Yes.
So it wasn't like a she was, barely 20 or something and her brain was still forming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old enough where she should have had the decision-making skills to go, no, this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Full stop. Old enough to where she should have felt some kind of protective instinct toward this young girl that was being hurt. And
Oh,
get
It
her out of the
should have
situation.
reminded her. It should have reminded her of herself.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like if
You
I was
know-
in her position,
Yeah.
what would I do? Type of thing, or So that's how I would take it. But I
Yeah.
don't know her. Like you said, Lindsay, her emotional
Yeah.
intelligence isn't there, so
Yeah.
she's probably
Just
not
like
thinking
what
about that. She's probably just going along with emotions with her boyfriend is what is going on, and just cares about the drugs, like you said, in a way.
You just hit me real strong, Lindsay, with what you just said in 2 words: protective instinct.
Yeah.
That's such a compelling thing to say right there, that that she completely lacks that.
Yeah.
And how sad is that for everybody involved?
Yeah.
First off, to protect herself,
And then her child.
but yeah. Oh yeah, she was pregnant too during this, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So now there's a baby mixed in all this.
Yeah, and
Who knows where the baby is
odds
now?
are 20 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hard to think about.
I hate to, be Danny Downer over here. However,
Well, if she's on drugs, then yeah, I know.
yeah, I mean, the odds are good. This stuff becomes generational,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and breaking out of that is so difficult. We've seen cases all over the interwebs and stuff. I don't know that we've covered one here, but we see it generational, where you'll have like fathers and sons that are in the same prison,
Yeah.
Yep.
sometimes for the same crime. It's messed up.
We've seen it. We've seen dads and junior, like a junior will go into court and say my dad's in the same jail type of thing.
Yeah.
That's quite
Oh
heartbreaking.
yeah, we have seen that. We're like, no,
Yeah.
that's not my
Mhm.
charge. That's my dad's charge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shouldn't laugh at
That's
that, but
outstanding.
yeah.
It is. It happens.
Or my personal favorite, I haven't done anything wrong since insert date here.
Yeah.
That one's my favorite too. So I've been doing good. I haven't had a felony for 4 years. I don't know.
That irks me too, actually, Dan. Not having you have to be rewarded for not doing bad.
I mean, there
that's a
are
very good way
cases
to
where
put
like
it.
someone has turned their life around and you can be like, hey, I have had my shit together since 2016 and here are the things I've accomplished. Like there
You
are
can
definitely
be-
people who have made the U-turn and made better things of themselves. But the way we see that wielded in court when they're back in for something they did.
Mhm.
I've been good since 2018. Yeah, but you're back here now.
You can do that. You can
Yep.
you can use that for sobriety. Like if you've been sober for that much, you can
Yeah.
definitely use that. I have
I
no
know I
gripe
said it.
against that. But if you're back in, you're back in there and you're using that as a
Yeah.
defense, no.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say, there's a huge difference between standing in front of an AA group and going, yeah, I've been clean and trouble-free for 10
Yeah.
years, as opposed to
Yeah.
standing in court going, yeah, I've been clean and trouble-free for 10 years.
Or you're at the the final like check in for your probation or whatever, and like, yeah, you put me on probation in 2022, and here's everything I did, and I haven't done anything since. Okay,
Yep.
free and clear, away you go.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's that moment, but a lot of times we do see that wielded as a, well, I've been doing good for so long. Yeah, but
There's
you're back
something
now.
else that
You're
bothered
back
You're
me
back
about
now and you haven't done anything else to
Yeah.
better your life in that
Right.
time
Yeah,
span.
good job. You did like the rest of us and didn't commit a felony until you committed
Yeah.
another felony.
Yep.
Right. There was something else that bothered me about this case too. And I'll briefly say it. I don't know if y'all picked up on it, but she didn't go into detail what happened. And usually when parolees are given the chance to tell their side of the story, they tell exactly what happened. She glosses over, it seems quite a bit of information. Like she just doesn't want to talk about it, and it kind of hides those facts, or doesn't want to admit those to herself. And that's something else I picked up on too during this parole hearing.
Yeah, that's a good call out.
Yep. And I think that's one of the big things with the board is they want you to call that stuff out for
Mhm.
yourself and feel, I think remorse is the right word.
Yeah.
I think that's the right way to say it.
Do you think? No, I don't think we would have gone that way. I was gonna say, like, do you think some of the details were omitted because the victim was a minor? But I feel like they would have said something at the kickoff, like, please refrain from graphic details because the victim was a minor, or will be. I think they would have called it out if she was asked not to say specifics.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
Just
details never stopped this board before. This was the same
No.
board that went into like that 7-hour marathon with
Yeah.
the threesomes and stuff. So they're cool. They're cool with
The one that
details.
gave us a full-on episode of Jerry Springer.
It seems like she just
Ah.
wanted to be over and done with,
Yeah.
and that's just how that's
Yeah.
how it came off
Kind
as.
of made you wonder if the whole thing kind of made you wonder, like, did she really think she was going to get out? Did she really think she like?
I don't
or
think
was
she
just
cared.
Kind of going through the motions.
I honestly, I don't think she cared because she knew she was going to get out this year anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
It seems like
didn't
well,
she
this-
start out? Didn't she start out by them asking her what brought you here, and she said, "Because I'm trying to get out," or words to that effect? Isn't this the
I
hearing
believe
that
this
started
is
with
the
that?
one that did that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
it
she was
might
like,
be.
"No, tell us about your crime."
Ah.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then she's like, "Well, yeah, I'm sorry, and this man, controlled me because men, and yeah."
Yeah. I think one interesting piece we haven't discussed was like right at the beginning, we watch so many of these cases and these people, rattle off their DOC numbers almost faster than they rattle off their names.
Yeah.
And she didn't know her DOC number. And I feel like
I picked up on that too. I
Yeah.
thought that was a little strange.
and I just know that is a huge piece of like how you function in some of
It's
these
your
facilities is you become that
Yep.
number. So the fact that she didn't even retain that number, I think spoke to maybe there's some cognitive stuff.
Yep.
And B, just a complete maybe like a lack of giving an F. At
She
least have
clearly
your
did not.
at least have your DOC number written down
Yeah.
with the rest of the buzzwords.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know.
And she tries to ring that I've changed narrative during the hearing as well.
Yeah.
When there's no evidence of her changing as so.
Well, she's probably we can't even say she's not trafficking and where she's at because we all know that doesn't not happen in these facilities.
That's true.
Yep.
Yep.
No, the biggest thing that hit me with this one, and on a more global perspective, was this I'm going to shift blame rather than take responsibility thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that drives me up a wall.
Yeah.
And it does for this reason. I'm the first to admit that I am one of the most imperfect people on the planet. I've made more mistakes in my life than I can count at this point, more bad choices than I can count, and some of them have cost me a lot. However, I've always been the person that after the fact raises his hand and goes, yeah, that was me. That was my bad, my responsibility. So how do we, as Judge Stevens would say, how do we fix it? This is fixable. How do we fix it? And I go about fixing it. So I think because of that, I have very little tolerance for people who try to shift blame. You know, you can't in one breath say that you have agency and nobody controls you and you're going to live your life and do your thing, and then in the next breath go, yeah, but there was this guy who was controlling me, and or there was this, or my wife, you know, she's just all over me and she made me do this thing, or take that and stuff it where it doesn't shine. You know, I have no patience for it. And it's probably because, again, of how I try to approach life. And it's not because I'm special. I'm clearly not. I'm just as flawed as the rest of you, but I feel like I should take responsibility for my flaws.
Well, especially this day and age, Dan. Maybe back when women didn't have the chance to really have that voice, but today they do, and they have options. So yeah, I don't agree that is a excuse. She should have turned him in, is what she ultimately should have done. But she didn't.
It's not just a woman thing, Ashley. It's a man thing now too.
Yeah.
And that really drives me nuts. You know,
yeah, we hear it all the time.
The phrase "man up" exists for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, it is in my opinion, it is in the male DNA to take responsibility for things, to take control of a situation, not to go, I don't know, you know, circumstances and, my daddy diddled me when I was 4 years old, so now I can't be a normal human being, or, you know, you hear all these excuses from men all the time.
Oh, diddled is a verb now. Interesting. Go ahead.
But
I think it's always been a verb.
Yeah.
Yep.
A verb, an adjective, and whatever you need it to be.
I thought it came
kind of
from,
like the F
never
word.
mind.
It's everything.
I was thinking of like the. Never mind. Go ahead.
That's fine.
We're going off on the sidebar.
English language of essence.
But no, it's just as prevalent, if not more, in men as it is in women, Ashley, and it drives me nuts because this goes back to what I talked about. I don't remember if it was on the pre-show or if it was in the fourth hour. It's so much of this blends for me, but I was talking about strong men versus a strong man.
Oh, it was a pre-show.
Yep. Pre-show.
Okay. So, you know, strong men take responsibility for things. They take control of situations to make sure the outcome is good. They take care of their family. They put those who they care for above themselves, things like that. And it's just totally lacking. And to the detriment of us. It's, our men are so soft.
We see them all the time in court, right? Because there's men that come up and they're like, I don't have a job. Like, what is wrong with you? Type of thing. And there's nothing wrong with them.
You're 25 years old. You didn't graduate high school. You've never had a job.
It's like what Dan is saying, like you live in your mom's basement or something and you're just not doing anything with your life. And of course, they will have problems if they're not working. In my mind, if I wasn't working, what would I do with myself? And the thing that comes to mind is to get in trouble. Like these people
idle hands are the devil's playground.
Exactly.
What I was gonna say.
Yeah. So
there are there's these old timey sayings that everybody's kind of blown off now, but they've been there for a reason.
It's so true though.
Yeah.
It's so true though.
Yeah.
Yep. If you don't keep busy, if you don't keep moving forward, you get yourself into trouble.
It's not even keeping busy. Like if you don't find a purpose or don't, the whole thing comes back like purpose, like something that you do to improve yourself in your life, then you tend to find ways that destroy it.
Yep.
Because I'm sure these people in some ways are plenty busy. They're just not in ways that are productive.
Well, productively busy, to your point.
Yeah.
But, but then you'll have the other where the excuse will be, well, I'm trying to figure out what I want to be, or I'm planning for this, or I'm in the process of this. Just take action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because you can plan all day long, but quite honestly, by the time if you're legitimately planning, if you plan too long, by the time the plan is done, the world has changed and it doesn't apply anymore.
Yep.
You have to just take action. But you know, we've raised a group of people that are just too weak to do these things because we haven't taught those lessons. I mean,
In some ways, created a culture where it's okay to be that way too.
Yep.
oh, it's expected almost.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna kind of skirt. There we go. Skirt the line. You don't squirt the line. You skirt the line. We're gonna kind of whatever.
And let this catch up, and then it's like a line down
You
here.
squirt the line. That actually sounds like some kind of a jingle. Heinz, squirt the
Squirt
line.
the line.
All right. Gave you that one for free, Heinz. No, it's now I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it.
Okay. You were saying, Dan. Let's
We're
see.
gonna skirt a line.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah,
skirt.
I just don't remember what that line was.
I think I knew where he was going. You're skirting the line between people that can, what is expected of that person, the person not doing anything versus a person that does something. Is that where you're going, Dan? Something
No,
like
I don't
that?
think so. I don't know what it was, but I will say this. There's something to be said for raising your children with some tough love and not coddling them because they need to build a level of strength. And I think that's both male and female. And I think we're robbing our children of that, which makes people like this 29-year-old that we saw at the parole board here. And the age bracket just about fits because it was the time when I was raising my oldest daughter, which is about in that time frame, where I started to see this with other parents, where they were just fronting up to him and coddling him and all of that, where if my child's scraping a knee, I'm not making a big deal about it and, telling them how much it sucks and go buy a lollipop for them. It's no more. It's more of a, sorry, that's life. Let's get you cleaned up and get you on your way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
that's
learned
just
a
an
way not
example,
to do it. Let's go get cleaned up now.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It just, again, we circle back to themes that we've talked about here before, and one of them is making stronger, better people. In this case, clearly, whether again it be through nature or nurture, somehow a very weak person was made.
Yeah.
We did nothing along the way, and by we I mean her community, did nothing along the way to correct that situation for her. And the result is she's in prison. She's not taking accountability for anything. And we've got a minor who was a runaway. So she was already in a bad place.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the situation was made even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can't just be right good people.
You never know what situation that runaway is into. Sometimes children run away just because they think their parents are being harsh or something. But sometimes they run away because they're getting away from a bad situation as well.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
there's
I
that.
don't know what she was running from.
Right. So now
But what
she's
she ran to wasn't any better. But
No.
when
Apparently
you don't
not.
know the difference.
Yeah, no, that's
Hate
a
that.
very valid point too, is what is the background behind the runaway?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're right. It could have just been teen rebellion. It could have also been, her parents are running a drug house.
Right.
But then that makes this even more horrible
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
What this lady and the quote unquote man controlling her did. Because they were already, at that point, you're preying on somebody who's already down.
Yeah.
And, I suppose I suppose at some point along the line, one or both of them argued, well, she was in a bad way, so we were taking her under our wing.
No.
I guarantee you some kind of language along those lines went down.
Oh, I bet
Either
it did.
in an interview or in the court or somewhere. They tried
Or
to
how they got her in
justify
the
it.
first place.
Yep.
You know, hey,
Yeah.
you're out here. We can give you a place to stay and
That's true.
a way to maybe make some money. And
Yep.
I guarantee you they
that's
tried to
how they
justify
get them a
it
lot
that
of
way.
times.
Yep.
But she did say to stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, that's just it. Like this girl said,
That's
no,
the
stop.
thing. That's the thing. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Well, Ashley, it was when they were riding in the car and it was a stop sign that the lady ran.
Sure. We're being
just
technical about
misinterpreting
it.
That's all. That's all it was.
Oh, that's awful.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if she came up with that excuse. She had an excuse for everything.
I thought she was saying I had to stop at that light, but the light was
She did
green.
make it. When I watched it back, it made me kind of boil up. It did. Because that accountability, like you said, Dan, that accountability just wasn't there. If she just
Yeah.
owned up to her mistakes, like countless people do at the pardons, like the board, then yeah, that's one thing. But it's even more infuriating that a person commits a crime and just doesn't own up to it. And
Yep.
I don't think they should get out at all. Like you said, Dan, I think actually it should be the other way around. They need to be institutionalized or something.
Like they're almost
Like
should be
they're
an
not
exit
they
interview.
shouldn't be allowed back on the street. They shouldn't.
There should
It's
almost be
just-
an exit interview, like how and
Yeah.
granted, yes, that could definitely be abused and weaponized, and people that are totally ready to get out could end up staying in. But like
Yeah.
there should be some kind of assessment, like yeah, they
Yes.
served their time, but are they really ready? Are they really rehabilitated, or are we just gonna see them back in 6 months for the next
You
thing
know,
they do? Because
This is a good point. Why
Yep.
Just
why
Meet
do
up the next episode.
why do we allow people just to enter back into society without question like that? You
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
Should it be like that? Or is it you served your time and now you're back on the street again with no resources?
Yep.
Well, it varies depending on the prison and the state and the program and the offense and all that. Some people are immediately released to community control.
Yeah.
I think in Louisiana they actually have an exit program because the board has recognized that before, where they've had somebody that they want a grant to, but they haven't been through the class yet. It's like an
Yeah.
exit class.
Yep.
So
We've
there
seen
is
that
quite a
some
bit.
stuff. But I was just sitting here thinking as you guys were talking, I'd mentioned that she should have time added on. I think
Yeah.
the parole board should actually work that way. I think there should be a risk reward situation where if you're going to go in front of the board, if you convince them, you'll get your parole granted. But if you don't convince them, then you get 20% extra tacked on.
You don't have a choice to go in front of the board though, correct?
No, you can choose. You can
You can
refuse
choose
it.
not to.
You can choose not
You
to.
can
Okay.
choose.
They might still
Yep.
push through the paperwork that says, he declined to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
But-
they have to
Yeah.
offer you. I think like, hey, you're eligible. Here's the form.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Yes.
and then they can go. I'm just gonna serve my time, or they'll go absolutely and
Yep.
jump on it. And,
Okay, good to
But-
know.
yeah,
But
they
this
give
is a
you-
bit
they-
of a thought experiment here. It's never going to happen, so whatever. But what if there was a risk reward thing? Would it potentially get people to take their recovery, to take their change more seriously? I wonder.
I wonder too. Or do they just deny like going, but they want to get out?
Yeah, if you want to get out, you definitely have to put in the work and convince the board that you did the work, because there would be a penalty if you failed to convince them.
Sure.
I wonder. Like I said, it's just a thought experiment. Nobody's ever going to do it, at least not in this
Yeah.
iteration of our country.
For this
Give it a couple
parole-
of years for when the revolution is done, maybe.
for,
But
th-
as
for
it
this
stands right
parole
now.
board and the opposition, sometimes they kind of go overboard with opposition sometimes. So I don't know.
yeah,
The op is
Well, I
OP.
think if you
Yeah,
did that
that's all
system, and
top
there
tier.
wouldn't be for or against witnesses. It'd just be you and the board.
Ah,
And the board would be like, all right, show us what you've done.
well, that's
Show us
something
how this is
that
going to
would
be
another
better
thing
this
entirely.
time around.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder.
An exit exam, as it were.
That would be completely fair. So I wouldn't
That
see a
might be
problem
the
with that.
reform that we've all been waiting for. Maybe it's
Yeah. If it's not just sit
indeterminate
your time and go
sentences.
back out, if it's you're not getting out until we see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Seeing what's in the chat.
I
Well, we
have
definitely
concerns
didn't
that it
solve
could be
anything here.
abused in some places, but it's not a bad idea and concept.
Well, everything's going to be abused because
Yeah,
that's what
I know.
we do.
I know. Everything. It's just.
That's human nature right there. Oh, we
Yeah.
invented this neat new thing. How can we use it wrong?
Charles makes a good point.
Yup.
Charles makes a good point. He said that they got rid of parole in his state, and that was the end of it.
Charles, what state are you in again? I
You're
forget.
in Washington, right? Charles?
Washington, I think.
Yeah, that's an option. There are some states that do things that are out of the norm.
Yeah, he's in
Okay,
Washington.
thank
Yeah.
you, Charles. So yeah, getting rid of parole would be one of them. Kentucky does not have bail bondsmen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Your bond has to be posted right through the court. So I mean, different states do different things, but that would be.
Yep.
So do they still have good time there, Charles? Do they still have the ability to get out early for good behavior? People complain about how short our sentences are, but people forget that we don't have parole and they have very limited good time.
Okay.
So sentences are mostly real time. Honestly, that probably
I'd
makes more
rather
sense.
just see. Okay, this is what your sentence is going to be.
Yep.
Less carrot dangling.
That's true. Why are we? That's another thing.
That
Why are we
is a good
treating
point.
court like we treat our kids?
Right.
Because we do that too, where we'll, I'm gonna punish you, and then you ground them for a week, but 3 days in you give in.
This
Lot
is
of
good.
parents
This
do
is
that.
this is something to think about because
Yeah.
if you
My
do,
parents never did.
I mean, parole is a
Yeah,
Parole
modern
in a-
parents, Lindsay.
parole in a way is
Not
a
the ones we had.
privilege. Parole is a
Yeah.
privilege, and you could do away with that privilege.
That's a whole
That's it.
sentence there, Ashley. Parole is a privilege.
It is.
That's merch.
is.
Write that down.
Yes.
There you go.
No,
Thank you.
parole is a yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I don't
That's
disagree
not-
there, Charles. Incentives for good behavior do help prisons become more manageable. If you don't have
That's
any
true.
hope of getting out
That
because
is
you
true.
behave, then why behave? I get it.
But you still have good. You have
Yeah.
some good time though.
Yep.
So you still
Yeah,
have
you
that.
still
going
have
for you.
good time, just not the traditional parole.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if I 100% buy into what
and
Charles
you don't.
is saying
You're
there.
not. You're not put in the shoe or in solitary confinement, and that's another thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I
true.
think,
Yeah.
so incentives for good behavior do help the prisoners become more manageable. I think it's all in how you house them, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some that are just not going to be
caveat.
manageable no matter what. I don't know. I'd have to think on that more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this has been an interesting discussion this evening.
Yes, it
we-
has.
we complained
I
a lot
knew this topic would be.
Yep.
Yeah.
We complained a lot about that girl, and I think it was good that we did because she
Yes.
deserves it.
Yeah.
We got
I
it
was-
out of our system.
Sometimes when I have to put a defendant on a thumbnail, I'm kind of like, I hate having to do this. I didn't hate doing that one today.
Yep.
She needed her picture to be out there with maybe the word shame next to it, but I didn't use the word shame.
She put a
But-
dunce hat on her.
A dunce hat. That's not really on brand with what we do here, maybe
Ashley.
some of the other channels, but I like it.
Dark Ashley has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. With Dunce hat on her.
Sorry,
I love
it came in my
I
my
love
head.
it.
So.
I love it.
No, it's good. But
You can
but
picture
yeah,
it though. Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
it's very clear in my head.
I'm
Definitely.
going to be pondering more tonight the whole concept of parole now, and should it be reformed with these boards? Should it just go away like in Washington? I have thoughts now. I have thoughts I need to process.
You don't have
So
to
this is-
you don't have to worry about elected officials either in that regard if you do away with the board because they're elected
They're
in
appointed.
Louisiana. Oh. Yeah, they
They're
are
Yeah.
appointed. I'm sorry. Appointed by the governor, right?
Yeah.
But
And
still,
they probably make like $250,000 a year or some ridiculous number.
it's
Wow.
probably their full-time job because they're retired.
Yeah.
Yep.
No doubt.
from law
Grandma
enforcement.
TCF approves of the dunce hat.
Yay! Thank you.
I will say this before we close. Ever since I started this channel, Grandma TCF has just become one of the most vocal people ever, especially in the chat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mom and Joan just drops
she-
them sometimes.
In IRL version of Grandma TCF will mostly keep her thoughts to herself. but the online chat version, she's like, yeah, fry them. It's hilarious.
Well, I'm happy we can be that
nice.
outlet for you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no, most certainly are. All right. Any
Makes it
you
a
got
better
any
place.
final thoughts before we call it a night here? Never did see Michael, so we didn't get to play our prank on him. Oh well.
Darn.
Next time.
We'll save it. Leave them in suspense.
Oh, final thoughts
There we go.
though. I can't think of anything. I think I got everything I wanted out.
I think it comes back to what I said to open it up. It's like sometimes all you need to say is, regardless what my reasons were, I was wrong and I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mm.
Don't just give the
Yeah.
board what they want to hear. Speak from inside of you, basically.
But Lindsay, I'm sorry, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah,
here's-
no
But
but.
they only had oatmeal raisin cookies when I wanted a chocolate chip cookie, and I was just really upset. And so,
So let me just say this, Austin, before we go, based on what you just said, speak from what's inside you.
Mhm.
What if what is inside you is nothing? What if you're just a hollow shell of a human?
Oh,
Because I
boy.
think that's what we had there.
Yeah.
I
know
did
it's
not
harsh.
think of that, but yeah, I can see that.
I know
think
it's
we just had
harsh,
it-
but I think so.
Yep.
She had no emotion whatsoever.
know.
So yes, it
Well,
was
two
very
things can be
creepy.
true at once. It was harsh, but it's right,
Yeah.
unfortunately. All right, my friends, this is where we call it a night then, but we'll be back tomorrow morning on this channel, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, a half an hour early for channel members. And you need to show up because I'm pretty sure Lindsay has a blotter for us.
Ooh.
So that'll be
Nice.
fun. And it's a
Yeah.
super Friday, and our Fridays are always super. And we'll do this again next week at Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, maybe with Lindsay, maybe not. I don't know if she's rock sliding. Are you rock sliding? Okay. No, Lindsay. So be
She's
it.
throwing rocks? Oh my.
throwing rocks at houses.
Aren't those missiles in your state?
Plead the fifth here.
Just saying.
No,
you really-
that's Wisconsin. That was Austin's contribution.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, close enough.
I just can't
The
put a duck on
snowball,
my
that
head
was
and
mine.
go visit Austin.
Yep.
All right, my friends. We'll see you again soon. Take care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Have a good night,
you.
y'all.